hear you.
Okay.
See, I didn't know I had to use my mobile.
Yeah, you have to use I just found that out too. Um, and hopefully we'll get people to jump over to this live. I had to switch over. It said, I literally read all of the live stuff and it said, yes, you
Right.
can have them come in afterwards. And I don't know why it wouldn't let you in. Now I sent you the text and you
Yeah.
got it fine.
This time, yeah, when the first text just went to just put me in your live, but the second text let me join.
Okay, because now we're on Oki's Hustle. So hopefully
Okay.
people will jump over here. So that's why I did that this morning just to do damage control, just in case something happened with that live.
Yeah.
Then I did this over here. So there's Misty. Misty's back. Hey, Misty.
Hey, Misty.
All right. I'm trying to get into it here.
I'm serious about this, Misty. I gotta win these jokes.
Oh, you're fine. You're gonna win.
I know. I was gonna wear
Wow.
my Hawaiian shirt, but I couldn't find it.
Hi, Chef said the only reason I have this shirt is because of my son got it for me for Father's Day because they know I like Sasquatch and Bigfoot stuff. And that other shirt I wear, you see that other print shirt I wear every once in a while. I did that as a joke because my son wears them all the time. And then they got one for my grandson.
Well, I'll put my hat on the right way. It's
No, that's fine.
my
That's fine.
Oklahoma meats.
Yep. So just so you know, shots have been fired at Oki's Hustle. You know, Allison came on prepared, ready to do battle here. So the way I did it was I ask a few questions first.
Okay.
But I'm going to let you introduce your channel first, if you don't mind.
Okay.
And then I have a few questions that are real easy questions just about your channel I'm going to ask. So if you want to go ahead and introduce your channel, because I make this about the other content creators.
It's pretty much, a life journey. I do crafts. That's what I wanted to start doing about 10 years ago. And I couldn't figure out the whole taping thing and the editing thing, which I still haven't figured out. But, and then I have gone into antiquing and I have an antique booth. So I go to estate sales and sometimes I upcycle things and make new things. And other times I sell antiques.
You muted.
Sorry. That I hope wasn't my daughter, but anyways, if it goes off again, I'll have to answer it from my watch. But um, um, I do
You went
videos
dark
about that. I do stuff about my life, and I just do a bunch of everything, pretty much documenting my life. I have Parkinson's, so I just want my family to have, my life now.
Your screen went blank.
Am I blank?
Yep. Nobody can see your hat and sunglasses, and that's
Oh man, how do I fix it?
You can probably just go back out and go back in. That's what.
There we go. Okay, I'm back. I look like a dork right now.
No, your screen's still black on my screen.
Really?
Can everybody else see her, or is it just me? Chef said, can you see Allison? Okay, so Nicola just said she can't see you either.
Shoot, what do I do?
I think you can just get back out and click the link again and come back in. That's what Chef Zed was doing.
Okay. Now I'm black.
Yeah, you're still not showing. If you want to just keep talking, that's fine. I mean, we can do it that way too.
Hello?
Yeah. Okay, so she's working on it now. Hopefully, hold on. Here she comes. Boom. Add. There you
Okay.
are.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Whew. Starting to sweat that one out.
So everybody that just showed up here just realized that she's poking fun at the Okies.
No, my daughter
Um,
went to school there.
oh, did she? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you told me that. Hey, if you're showing up here, please like the live, double tap your screen, and then Allison just introduced her channel and what she does. So now we're going to get into the questions. So are you ready for these fastballs?
I'm ready.
Right down the middle. Here we go. How long have you had your shop, your booth?
Oh, my booth? A year and a half.
Okay. And you have that in a store? Is it like an antique store type thing?
Antique store, yeah.
Okay, cool. Because there's a bunch of those in Marietta, the city next to me. They got a few, and they do antiques, but they also do other people can bring stuff in. Like,
For the most part, it's antiques or vintage items,
okay,
but I sell my crafts out of there.
okay, but you can do crafts as long as they're not, they kind of fit
Well,
the
because
theme.
I upcycle a lot of my stuff.
Okay, right. Because I saw your estate sale one the other day and how you did some. Because I go to estate sales also.
Yeah.
Um, do you? This is just my own interest. Do you advertise your YouTube in some way, shape, or form there? Do you have cards or something that you put out following on
I am
YouTube?
not allowed to.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's too bad. Because
I
that'd be
know.
great to be able to put it in each bag and stuff.
I know. We don't ring up our own stuff. Like people go to the booths and then they
Right,
take them up to the register.
right.
If I happen to be there, I will mention it to people. She let me do some interviews um, with vendors, and that's kind of not going anymore.
Okay. Yeah,
I
I was
don't.
just wondering because that's actually that's an ideal. Hey, there's Peter. Hey, Peter, how you
Hey,
doing?
Peter. Yeah, I don't know what. I don't know why, but I don't ask. I just do what I'm told.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It's just a shame though because that is such a great way to.
Yeah.
Her channel name is Living Life After 55, right?
Yeah.
And it's actually at what, Silent Sky 3?
Yeah, and I just started last night. I started a channel that's Silent Sky Story Time, and it's just I'm reading little kids' books
Oh, that's
and
cool.
yeah, and just putting it to life lessons.
My brother wrote a book. He's
Really
published a book. The kids, it's
cool.
not a, it's kids, adults. It's about a it's about a Christmas,
Uh huh.
and he puts in a lot of our heritage. Like my grandparents play a part in it. A couple of my siblings I never knew. They both passed away at birth. Um, they're in it.
Oh,
So
cool.
he did it kind of as a family type thing, and then it's based out of Tennessee where he lives, and then so he wrote the book, The First Christmas in his area, and then
Cool.
it's a pretty cool book. But then he actually has the story behind. It's basically the story behind the story.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. What are your favorite collectibles as far as any collectible you got? I know you go to estate sales, but if you were buying just for you in your house, what would you buy?
It's funny you say that. I was thinking yesterday, I really can't start another collection. But right now, I do uranium glass. I think that's my ticket. I had to buy a cabinet to put it in because I want to display it. So my uranium glass, which glows
Really?
with the black light. Yeah.
Do
So and
you well,
a
speaking
lot
of
of
vintage
yeah.
speaking of vintage stuff, do you remember we're pretty much the same generation. Do you remember
Right.
the black when you got the black light? Do you remember that big velvet Black Panther poster you could
Yeah.
buy?
Yeah.
That was one of the most famous posters. I had one, although those were awesome under the black light.
Yeah, so I carry a black light around with me wherever I go because you never know when you're going to find a piece of glass.
Um, okay, next question. Being from Texas, do you attend the state fair every year, the Texas State Fair, or not?
Well, I am from Texas for 23 years. I'm from Chicago, and no, I don't go every year because I hate crowds.
Yeah, I don't go either, but I have gone once or twice. But when you go, do you have a favorite fried food that they do? Those different fried foods.
No, my cousin was the head of safety. He worked for the Dallas PD,
Okay,
and he was the head of safety security there. So we would go see him, and my daughter showed her sheep there. So we
okay.
would go see her, but I just hate the crowd so much. And I couldn't stand the thought of that fried stuff that they were always showing.
Well, my last trip there a few years back, I'm going to give this real quick story. We went with a group of us, a group of guys went down, and we're all standing there talking about something. And I love the turkey legs, those big turkey legs they
Yeah,
have. So I'm like, I want a turkey leg. They're like, man, they're expensive. I'm like, no, I'm going to get it for free. And they're like, there's no way you're going to get it for free because they always laugh because I always said if it's free, it's me because
yeah,
I always had a way of getting free stuff. But anyways, so I'm like, okay, you guys stay here. I am going to get a free turkey leg. And they're like, okay, go for it. So I walked over. The lady standing there, she says, can I help you? I said, hey, that group of guys behind me, I told them I was going to come over here and get a free turkey leg. So I'm hoping that you can, help me not be wrong and have to go back in embarrassment. Could you give me a free turkey leg? So she leans around the corner. She goes, hey, Bob. He goes, what? The guy's up here wants a free turkey leg. He goes, what? He comes over. He's like, what's up? I said, the guys behind me have me on a bet that you won't give me a free turkey leg. He goes, I won't. All right. He says, move aside for a second. I move aside where I was in front of the turkey legs. He looks at them. They're looking at him. He grabs the turkey leg out of the thing, wraps it in foil, hands it to me, and he holds his hands up because no money exchanged hands. I walk back and they're like, oh man, you got to, what did you say to him? I'm like, that's none of your business. That's a transaction between me and them. They gave me a free, those are $15. They gave me
I
a free,
know.
they were
It's
laughing so
ridiculous.
hard, the owners. And, but anyways, that was my greatest Texas Fair moment. Other than that, I don't like it.
No,
It's too noisy, hot,
yeah,
it's, expensive. Now it's expensive.
it's really ridiculous.
Okay, let's see. You just, I think, pretty much answered this one. I have two more questions. You just kind of answered one, but what are your future plans for your channel going forward? Are you going to continue what you're doing? Do you have any? I know you just said you started another channel, but not that channel, but your original channel
Yeah,
moving forward.
I'm gonna keep plugging along with that.
Hmm.
My husband and I hopefully will be taking some trips, so
Hmm.
I'll
Is he
be
going to be in
documenting.
them?
Yeah, I might be having a guest star in mine, and he actually said, "I have an idea for the first two videos," and I'm like, "Excuse me, I didn't know I had a director."
I mean, because I
Um,
know a lot of people like to have the spouse just to
he is
meet them.
he's pretty funny, but he's been very, very private, and
Yeah, I
when
get
I
that.
show him other people, um, and I said, we don't talk about anything serious."
Hmm.
And so the kids used to call him, and I don't even know how he got the name, but El Supremo. And so I told him he has to go by El Supremo. And they're like, isn't Ephraim unique enough? And I'm like, but El Supremo, even the kids' teachers would call him El Supremo.
That's awesome.
So I think he has to go by El Supremo.
um, what app, what editing, what So what editing app are you using?
Don't even ask me. I have downloaded so many editing apps that I don't even edit anymore.
Okay. Have you tried have you tried KineMaster?
Nope.
That's the one I used. That's the first one I used. I used the free one, and then they had a couple other options I wanted to try. And like I'm no great editor. I mean, and that's all I use. It has unlimited music. It does cool transitions. Very easy.
Yeah.
And it was $4 a month for the year. So I paid 48 bucks and I got it for the whole year.
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't try the other ones. I just stick with that one.
I put a new one on my computer now, so I'll see how that goes. But
But
hey,
KineMaster, it works on your phone. That's what's nice. I can do all my editing right from my phone on KineMaster. Everything right on my
yeah,
phone. Upload, done.
yeah.
Um, the it's funny you talk about that El Supremo or whatever. My email is Super J Hep. Okay, so the reason behind that goes back to when I was coaching Little League baseball. That's how old that email is. I'm pushing 60. I was coaching baseball at 35, so that's how old this email is. Um, uh, Misty, I use KineMaster. It's spelled KineMaster, Kine Master, one word. It's really cheap. I like it. It's very simple. Anyways, I was coaching and I would get to the field even before players, coaches, even the people that worked the booth, the people that worked, I'd get there like 45 minutes before anybody else. I'd get the lines on the field. I'd get the field raked because I was just high. I'm very high strung when it comes to like high energy. And I'm just
No.
always bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. And so they'd get there and they're like, oh, you already raked the field. Yeah. You already got the lines on. Yeah. I'd have it all ready. So we'd start the game immediately and then boom. And so I did that all the time. And finally they just started saying, you know, we need to call you Super J. So that's what they started calling me, was Super J. Even kids that on the team, if I would call my assistant coach, his son would answer. He'd be like, "Hello." I said, "Hey, is your dad there?" He goes, "Hey, Dad, it's Super J." It was just always so funny. And to this day, if I see them, this is 30 some years, almost
Yeah,
25. They still call me Super J. That's just
yeah. All the kids are married
it's
and grown, and they're like, "This is
yep,
all primo."
yep. That's right. Okay,
But
so anybody have any questions, or did you want to do a few jokes first?
why is the football stadium always cold?
Can we guess?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's full of fans.
Oh, come on! You beat me on that one.
Yeah.
Why are the
Well,
ear?
no,
Why
no,
are what
no. I
has
mean,
what has
um,
ears but cannot hear?
a bat.
A cornfield.
Okay, okay,
Okay, you're next.
okay. I did this one on one of my videos, but let's see. Let's see how much respect, how much RESPECT I get from my subscribers. Are you ready? See if they
Okay.
remember this. How many ears does Captain Kirk have? Captain Kirk from Star Trek.
Yeah.
No?
I'm trying to think of the joke. Uh, I don't know. Two,
Okay.
one.
He has 3 ears. He's got the left ear. He's got the left ear, the right ear, and the final front ear.
Ah! Ha, ha.
I always love that one. That's a class. That's so old. Uh,
Where do horses live?
where do horses live?
Yeah,
Go for
in the neighborhood.
it. I've never heard that one. That is a new one for the Okie. Okay, I'm going to use that one of these days.
Go
I'm
ahead.
hold on 1 second. I'm writing this down. What do you call a criminal on the down escalator?
Um, he's going down. I don't know.
Condescending.
Ha ha. How do you talk to a giant?
I don't know.
Use big words.
Did you, what I think you'll remember this one. What's the scariest plant? What is the scariest plant in the forest?
A spider plant.
No, bamboo. Oh, this is gonna go downhill fast.
What did the elf learn in school?
How to make chocolate chip cookies? I don't know.
The alphabet.
Oh, nice, nice. Yep. I uh, I mean, I know 25 letters of the alphabet, and I don't know why.
What type of key opens a banana?
What type of key opens a banana?
A monkey.
Okay, I wasn't even close on that one. This isn't a riddle, but I fear for the calendar. I really do. Sometimes I just sit there and fear for the calendar because its days are numbered.
What did the nose say to the finger?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What did the nose say to the finger?
Pick me, pick me.
Quit picking on me.
Oh, okay, all right. At least I was in the. I was kind
You
of.
were in the ballpark.
I was kind of in the. See, we're gonna have to do this one live when we get to some
Yeah.
location, because we got to have somebody there that's in the middle that we can try to get the laugh.
Yeah.
Uh,
What does the
I ordered.
laptop love to snack on?
Say again.
What does the laptop love to snack on?
Uh, Megabytes.
Computer chips.
Dang it! I'm getting old, or as my daughter-in-law would say, getting. Oh, let's see. The guy that created lifesavers, he made a mint. Um, how, what did I tell this one?
What do you call a famous turtle?
I'm sorry.
What do you call a famous turtle?
I don't know.
A celebrity.
Hold on a second.
Oh, sure. He runs away when I got something funny to say.
No, I went dark. There I am.
Okay.
I had an alarm set
Oh,
on my phone, and it just went off, and it
oh.
went my fade to black. I had to go shut the alarm off. um, what? How does NASA plan parties in outer space? How does
They have
NASA?
pop rockets?
No, they
Huh.
plan it.
They what?
They plan it.
Ah,
I'll give you one from. This is from Little Texas. I told him I would use this. He gave me permission to use this. Is what do you call a bear with no teeth?
I don't know.
A gummy bear.
Ah,
You know who Little Texas is?
no.
Okay, check his channel out. He does air fryer cooking. He's down in
Um,
Texas.
why did the Blue Jay get in trouble at school?
Don't know.
For tweeting on a test.
That one's terrible. I've asked. I did this one. I did this one on one of my videos. So you might remember this one. But why do gorillas have big nostrils?
I don't know.
They have big fingers.
How do rabbits travel?
Hold on. I don't know.
By hairplane.
Oh my goodness. What is the difference between weather and climate?
Weather and climate. Uh, you can't climb the weather. I don't know.
Oh, you were. I'll give you that one. You can't weather a tree, but you can climb it.
Ah,
Yeah, you were on the right path. You had the whole.
um,
You were on the right path.
what did the police officer say to his belly button?
I don't know.
You're under a vest.
Nice. That's actually a good one. I did this joke, and it actually did really well. My pharmacy joke, and I think I put it in the description when I did it when I first started doing the dad joke comedy. And I was literally in the pharmacy looking for some stuff. I was looking for people probably you guys deal with this too. If you're going in for you know ibuprofen or Tylenol or whatever, they have 9 million varieties of everything nowadays. You spend a half an hour looking for the brand you like or the type you like. And so I'm looking around now. I'm getting frustrated because I'm just trying to get in and out. I just want to go home. And this joke that's when it popped into my mind. I came past the eye drops, and it immediately popped in my head. I said, I went to the pharmacy to get, and yeah, I found the eye drops in the pharmacy, and what a sight for sore eyes. Yeah, and that video actually did like 1,500 views. I mean, that was just, sometimes you have a frustrating moment and it turns in your favor. But so let me open this up to some people, and then we'll tell jokes in and out. But does anybody have any questions for Allison? Or I don't even know what to call her with the reverse hat and the sunglasses. I don't know. We should have a nickname. Uh, what do they say? What is it? Not copying. What do you call it? Imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
Yes, yes.
But if you have any questions for Allison about her channel, now's the time to ask while she's here. Because I want
I
this to be
still
about.
can't believe how ridiculous I look.
Well, now you know how I feel. I put it on every day.
For those of you that don't really know me, this is what I look like on a regular, well, not on a regular day. My hair is really messed up, but this is the real me.
How's your battle going with Paula? You're back and forth with Paula.
We haven't done any Hilda and Mitzi's lately, but we're going to.
Why is she busy on the boat?
No, she's doing vacation Bible school right now.
No, I know. I was just kidding because I know you picked on her about the
Yeah, I
boat
know.
being out in the lake or the stream or whatever she's on. But
Hey, why did the photo go to jail?
I don't know.
It was framed.
Nice. Okay. I should have got that one. I should have got one. So Misty's asking you a question on when did you start your channel?
Technically, I started my channel about 9 years ago, but I put it away for quite some time. Um, I started when I turned 50, I think, and I recently just started it up when about 9 months ago is when I really started trying to do something with it.
And while we're on that topic of what is the name of your new channel?
Um, Silent Sky Story Time. I don't even think I have a subscriber yet. I just released a video from last
Is
night.
is it
Just,
Silent Sky 3 story time or just Silent Sky story time?
just Silent Sky.
Silent Sky story time.
My
One.
husband grew up with the name Zelensky, and it wasn't until he married me that I said, if you put a T in the middle of Zelensky, it's Silent Sky.
Right. Well, I know in one of my lives I mentioned that I was talking to Paula, and I said, um, when I first saw your Silent Sky 3, I kept saying Zelensky 3. That's what I kept calling it when people would ask me, go to Zelensky 3. And then I realized one day I'm sitting here like 2 weeks later, I'm like, what an idiot. It's Silent Sky. And I told Paula that she thought that was funny. I'm like, that just shows you how when you just gloss over something quick, how you
Right.
don't catch the little details. But Misty said she started to have a lot of medical problems when I turned 50.
Yeah, mine was about 50. Um, Actually, mine was a little sooner, but they became discoverable when I was about 55.
Okay,
I mean, I had the onset earlier,
right.
but we figured it out more towards 55.
Hmm. Now, do you take medications and stuff for the Parkinson's and everything, or you try to
Um,
avoid, or you try to avoid that?
I have tried to avoid it, but my one doctor told me that we're not going to be able to go much further
Hmm.
with my antidepressants and stuff. He thinks that I need to give maybe the Parkinson's medication some try. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm still up in the air on it.
Um, I know I had mentioned in one of my lives short time ago, my brother is in the early stages of dementia. He just turned 62, I believe, and it's I guess it's very fast moving, which we didn't realize. He's in Virginia because he was found homeless because he didn't know who he was. He had left upstate New York, got down to Virginia, never knew where he was or who he was, and they found him on the street homeless. So they kind of have him in a quasi type home now. But my sister had called and finally got in touch with the courts, and the person that's kind of the group that's kind of the would be his what would you call it? Their watch, his guardianship. And I guess he's declining really quick. He doesn't know who he is anymore, and he's having lots of health issues. And so it's amazing how some of those those like my mom and dad both had the Alzheimer's, and how quickly it can go sometimes. But
That's my fear is not death. A lot of
yeah,
people are so afraid of death. My
yeah,
I'm not afraid of death at all. I'm more afraid of what my family's going to see
yeah.
me as a shell. And I told my
Hmm.
husband, find a field, find a state that will take me, find a country that will give me drugs and knock me out because I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the shell of a person
Yep,
that people feel obligated to go visit because I won't know them.
yep, yeah. And Misty's putting on there some of her health issues. Wow, that's a lot to deal with, Misty. I'm assuming, Misty, that hopefully the Mediterranean diet is working out for you with the health issues.
Yeah, I've got because of the Parkinson's, I've also got the gastric issues.
Oh, okay.
So I
Um,
can empathize with that.
because I remember because I know what you're talking about because that's what I've always told my wife too that because both my parents died from the complications of Alzheimer's. My dad, I mean, I'm 6'3". Okay, my dad was about 6 foot. He was a big man too, and he was always rough and tumble, cutting wood, gardening. Wrestle around with us even when he was older. He was a strong guy, and to watch him go from 200 plus pounds to 120 pounds, where it's just the skin is just it's just skin and bone. Those are memories. That's what I wouldn't want my family to see. I want them to remember me how I am.
And that's why
And
I have my channel because I
yeah,
want them to
exactly.
remember this. And we take pictures on our phones nowadays. And my husband's like, I take what this was our argument about him being on my YouTube channel. He's like, I take pictures and I categorize them and I scan them and nobody looks at them and all that. And I said, I know, but movies are better because you can hear the person's voice
Hmm.
and you can see them moving. I said, the old movies are what we laugh at the most when we
Yep.
watch old movies. It's not the still pictures, those are beautiful, but it's the memory that you hear somebody that you feel that you're closest to them.
And that's what's funny. People our age and our generation are a little bit older. Younger people don't realize, like, remember the 8 millimeter?
Hey,
Uh,
I got the 8 millimeter movie out
yeah.
and I had that playing not that long ago. And then I transferred all the 8 millimeter movies um, for a gift for my in laws,
Hmm.
my sister in law and sister in laws. because my husband was a late life baby, and
Uh-huh.
his parents were born in the 20s. And so everything was on 8 millimeter. So I transferred those, and then I personally transferred all the slides onto um, onto the computer, onto a flash drive.
Gotcha.
And that was a job, but it was well worth it.
Yeah. Because I mean, it is. I mean, because this is going to, like they say, once it's on the internet, it's never going away. So they're going to be able to watch you till the end of their lifetime. I mean,
Right,
and that's another reason why I did it because I know my history. I mean, it might not affect me. I'm currently healthy. I can do whatever I want. I can go out and I can work 10 hours in the garden. I might be physically tired, but
right,
I recuperate, no problem. But my day is coming. I know, and and I might not get Alzheimer's. Who knows?
right,
But I'm prepared for it. I know there's probably a 90% chance through heredity. Uh, yeah, where I'm going to get it
right,
because of my genes. Both parents had it. And you just like you said, I'm not afraid to die. I mean, it's having like ALS and things like that are just horrible, horrible
right,
diseases. To be a shell of the person, and especially when you have because once you learn how to take care of yourself when you're an infant and you're a toddler, and then you grow up, and then you learn as a teen to take care of yourself, become an adult, to spend 50 or 60 or 40 years as an adult where you take care of yourself, then to lose all of that control,
right,
it's got to be a real tough experience, that you no longer have control over anything in your life.
right,
Faculty, mind, people have to make decisions for you. That's probably the hardest, I think. And then to have people see you fade, I mean, that I wouldn't want
right.
that.
No. So on a different note, why are elevator jokes so good?
Uh, they're always trending up.
Kind of. They work on many levels.
Okay. So Misty saying that it does help her a little bit with the Mediterranean diet. What does Natty say? She still has D, family movies, and projector. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I still remember some of our 8 millimeter stuff. um, and then I remember the big battle between Beta and VHS. Remember that,
Yeah,
Allison? The big battle. Which Beta was going to be the thing. Oh, forget VHS because Beta was so much clearer, better
yeah.
quality, and Beta just
And
flopped.
then you had the discs.
Yeah. So my son uh, is hilarious. He likes old technology. So
Hmm.
he literally has a record player he likes Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, Eddie Cochran, all those like I like. And then he also has a VHS, VCR. He's got a DVD player, and then he's also got a laser disc player because he has laser
Yeah.
disc. hmm He's got quite a few movies on laser disc, and he watches them. He
I've
he
got
hooks it up and he
my
watches.
I've got my grandfather's console radio, the um, his record player,
Yep.
and it was a shortwave radio, and
Really.
yeah, and I have the receipts. He used to get it tuned up every year,
hmm
and my mom's cousin, the same cousin I was talking about from Dallas, him and I have become very close. We're closer in age, and we he tells me stories about his dad. I loved his mom and dad. Like I loved. They were from Hungary, and his mom and dad used to go over to my grandparents' house on Sundays, and they would drink their whiskey and listen to Hungarian music and just sit there and cry and talk in Hungarian. And the kids would have to sit there and go like, "When are we going home?" But they would sit in front of this. I have the whole shebang. It's gorgeous. He kept it up, and so it's fun. I'll put records on there,
Yep.
and the
Yeah.
radio
My
still plays.
my sister just bought one of those and had it refurbished by an electrician. It doesn't have the shortwave radio in it, but it's got the AM/FM stereo
Yeah,
with the record player, with the the metal clip that you can put
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 records
Five,
on,
and then it
and it
drops
just
down.
drops and it
Yeah.
drops. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so she had it all fixed, went through with a fine tooth comb, listens to stuff all the time, loves it.
Yeah, we do too.
Um, I just like the sound because I just got a cheap record player, and then I'm rebuilding my collection. That's why your channel interested me when you talked about your estate sales and going to shops and having your own booth, is because we have the 2 or 3 uh, antique stores around us and a couple more each direction, 20, 30 miles each direction. So I have access to about 10 different antique
Yeah.
stores. And I've been trying to rebuild my collection from my childhood that has gotten, you know, either sold off or lost or broken or
Right.
whatever through the years. Because I had a bunch of Elvis Presley ones, Eddie Cochran, I had Alabama, the country crew, Anne Murray, things like that. And I'm on a really good path where I've gotten a bunch of my Elvis ones, I've gotten a bunch of the Alabama ones, I've gotten the Anne Murray, all from 8 miles away down here in Marietta.
Yeah.
Yep, I was able to, and I walked in one day and I said, "You have records?" He goes, "Yep, over there." And walked over and I could not believe it was like a gold mine. I was in seventh heaven. I was like a kid again.
Well, you have to send me a list of what you're looking for, and I'll see what we've got. There's so much in our store. There's
Yeah.
so much in our store.
Hey, everybody, go ahead and just keep talking to Allison, or Allison, go ahead and talk. I got to let the rescue animal out.
Yeah, Natty, I have a tape deck too, but I started making my cassettes. I started transferring them because they stretch out. So I started putting them onto my computer. My husband did something. I don't know how he does that, but he put all of our like VHS, transferred them, and the cassettes because they stretch out after time. But yeah, I had that deck to deck, like the 2 deck cassette player. It was like the whole stereo stack. My mom still has it. So Natty, where are you from?
I had to go
You
get a quick.
missed a whole bunch. We talked really bad about you. You missed a whole bunch.
I just want to get a drink out of the fridge. Iced tea, the best stuff. Sun tea.
I know. I gotta go get some iced tea. I can make it, but there's nothing like a Sonic iced tea.
Yeah, Sonic does have some good stuff. Um, while we're here, there's a lot of creators on here. Let me just ask this. I started this live stream on my other channel on Oki's Eden. Gave everybody the link, and I went on YouTube. I looked this up online, and they all said that you can do multiple live streams, but they can't be on at the same time. So one can come on, then they sign off. The next person can jump on, they sign off. The next person, so on and so forth. It didn't allow Allison to come on, and I'm assuming that's why After Dark couldn't get on because it wasn't letting her. So does anybody have any idea why it did that? If you know,
I've
please.
just used Yard Stream.
What's that?
I just used the Yard Stream.
I will get there eventually, but
It's
like I said, I
really
just
expensive. I got suckered into. I have another month of it. I canceled because I'm not paying $199 a month.
no. Um, that's and I just my I don't in my YouTube world, which is not very big. I know everybody's like, wow, Okies has 420 subscribers. He's huge. He's like Mr. Beast. Everybody just calm down. I'm
Yeah, I
not
know. I got 210, so
that I'm not that famous yet. But I watched like you guys on the other lives, and that looks cool and everything. But I'd rather be one on one with a person instead of having 4 or 5 different people, waiting and waiting and waiting. I do one at a time. That was what I was trying to accomplish. So I'm hoping I can figure that
when
out
we
because
when we do our lives though, it starts out a little chaotic where everybody's trying to catch up, but we do have a format. Like usually we'll have Karen leading it, but
Mhm.
we will have guest speakers talk about what they do, or how they did this or whatnot. We had AI people on, some
Hmm.
gals that started their channels with the AI,
Yep.
and it was very interesting. So we do keep it, yeah, we do sometimes talk over each other, but for the most part, it's just that first like 10, 15 minutes of catching up, like, oh,
Right.
la, 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 la. But then after that, we get everybody in sync. We just fall into sync.
And maybe I'll get there eventually, but like I said, I still like the format of one at a time. But I just don't know why YouTube didn't allow it. So I'm going to do another one next week. Maybe I'll try to do a trial with a couple of people, just real quick, boom, 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 just to see. Come on for 5 minutes, drop off, try the next one, try the next one. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. I'm trying to just be on the YouTube platform without having apps. Um, that whole weekend, that whole week where I was originally supposed to come on, I went on. I did the free thing, like Karen had said. I got a response from the email saying you're all set up. I got stuff from her, and then I never got notified. And then she tried to get me on, and then it didn't work. And that was a very frustrating couple days uh, for me personally. And I just, at that point, I shouldn't have even done a live or tried to. I should have just backed out because if I get in that frame of mind, I have to just kind of step back, deal with my grandson babysitting, and uh, he has seizures. So dealing with that all night when he was up, and then doing this, doing that. Something breaks at the house. Had to get the fridge. There was like 9 people were showing up. They had to be here at a certain time. I had to leave, then go back, and you get 9 million things going on at once. And I just should have said, you know what? Let's just do this another day. Looking
Right.
back now, that's what I would do. Um, but I just let things, everything just, it was like the perfect storm. Usually it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't bother me that much, but there was, you know, my grandson has issues and he was having seizures, and that affects me in a way to see somebody suffer like that.
Right.
I should have just backed out. That was my fault. But that won't happen again. So I got to learn how to use the Natty, man. Natty's she's my count technician. She lets me know how many I have. 427 yesterday. I don't even really watch that much. I go back and check every once in a while. But anyways, is it StreamYard or YardStream?
StreamYard, I think.
I keep saying YardStream for some reason. I mean, but you said you paid for it.
Well, I got a week free and then I missed cutting it off by day.
Oh, okay. And they charge you automatically without even like texting you or anything?
Yeah, you're supposed to remember the day. But you know me, I don't remember anything in
Well, I
technology.
mean, I've done that. I've done that with other ones, but they'll send you a text like the day before, an email saying, "Do you want to cancel?"
They might have sent me an email, but I don't look at my emails every
Oh,
day.
well, you know what? It also can go to spam. So a lot of times you might not get it, it goes
Yeah.
to spam. Oh,
So,
that's too bad you have to pay for it because that's my thing. I don't want to pay for a bunch of apps and stuff. I'm trying to learn how to work off the YouTube. So if
right.
anybody does, um, let's see. Somebody said technology is glitchy. Yeah, it can be very glitchy. We saw that in my other with Chef Zed. It was very glitchy. But so that's what I'm going to try again. I'm going to go back after this, and I'm going to ask. I'm going to try to figure out and research why it wouldn't let you guys in without having to jump to another channel.
I
And that's
think
what
it's
I'm
just because we literally had to close out. Like you had to stop your live and then restart a new live.
right. But I've already researched that, and they said that's no problem. You can
Yeah.
you do the live as long as they come on one at a time. You can have as many people on and stay on as long as you want. As long as one goes off, the next one can come on. But this morning, um, when Nicola messaged me and said, "Hey, I can't make it. Is that okay?" I said, "Yeah, that's fine." I immediately thought, I'm like, well, I better have a contingency in case something happens where they can't get on the live after the first one. So that's when I
Right.
went over to Opie's Hustle, quick, put this live in so I could send you the link if something went
Right.
wrong. And I'm glad I did because it was pretty seamless, other than everybody has to jump back over here. But
Right. Right.
and that's fine because we got the word out,
We didn't
people
get
could
that
hear.
many people on though.
There's more in and out than you think.
Okay, because it
I'll
looks
let you.
like there's only been about 6.
Well, I've been watching. I'll let you know when I end it. I'll take a snapshot of it and show you. I'll tell you what the
Okay.
results were.
Well, I'm
And
gonna
then,
have to hit the road
yeah,
here.
no
It's
problem.
already 12 o'clock, so
Okay.
it's
Well,
been
thank you,
fun,
everybody.
guys. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everybody. Try to visit my channel and let me know that you came from here, and I'll check out your channels. And we're gonna have to meet up
Yep.
somewhere and do our real live, like a
Our live. Yep.
live, a double live.
Will do.
That's a double live. What's a double live?
Is that like two negatives?
Yeah, 2 negatives is a positive.
Right.
So
Right.
live is a super live. That's like a super chat. It's a
All
super.
right. Well, super. We'll call it the super live.
I'm gonna go up to that bookstore today and ask them if they would let us hang out in there if it's too hot outside, but we'd gather people outside and bring them in with us.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Let me know. Let me know what they
Bye,
say.
guys. Hang in there. Keep going, because I'm never gonna give up. See ya.
Take care. Thanks
Bye.
for showing up.
Uh-huh.
Okay, everybody. There she goes. So unfortunately, we had 4 set up originally. I got to figure out the glitch with the getting people into the original live, which from all I understood, you could. I'm going to go back and research it, and then I'm going to be doing some lives again next week. And if I have to do a couple on different live streams over a couple of days, I will. I do want to get people online on a live collaboration so people can see their channel and try to help grow their channel and all of that. So I hope everybody has a great day. I am going to go out and work in the garden for a little bit and stay posted, because I'm going to be planting my 3rd generation beans. I did a short about it. I'm going to plant about 25 of those, and then I have my pole beans. I just did a bunch. I seeded a bunch of those. I'm going to plant those. Those are going to be seeds for next year, and I'm going to make bean soup. I'm going to take, after the beans harden up, I'm going to uh, I'm going to seed some, and I'm also going to make a pot of bean soup right from my own beans, where I have to soak the beans and then cook the beans and add like a beef stock or chicken stock or whatever, and then vegetables and all that. So stay tuned for that. You guys all have a great day. Chef said thank you for appearing in the first one. I really appreciate it. And Natty and Misty and Spongy, all you guys that showed up here, and Nicola, thanks for showing up and interacting and helping our channels. You guys all have a great day. Peace out.